Hi everyone, this is Jen. I didn't announce I was going to do a live today because I honestly just decided to do one today. And I've noticed this is the third week in a row that I've done a live. The first week was on a Tuesday, last week was on a Wednesday, this week is on a Thursday. So I don't know if at least I'm trending, right? And it's always been at 3:30. Well, this was at 3:34. One thing I realized though is I've never properly introduced myself. Let me move the camera down just a little bit. My name is Jen Jetta, and this is my shop. JJ Caprices is my shop, and I started it about 5 years ago. I was a technology consultant prior to this who always wanted to have her own small business. I was married at the time. I got divorced in 2011, left the country for a couple of years. I moved to Paris, and it was during that time that I took a life sabbatical and honed in more on what I wanted my small business to look like. I always knew that I wanted it to do with travel and curation of finds. I traveled a lot in college and while I was married, and always was able to come across beautiful creations. And a lot of times it was clothes that I was looking at. When it came down to honing in on what the idea was for my shop, for JJ Caprices, I decided that while I'm very good at shopping for myself and my body type, I wasn't sure if I would be so gifted at that for other women. So that's why I decided to go the accessories routes, because I felt it was more versatile. And accessories too, they complete an outfit. And there's so much, and there's a lot of craft that goes into clothes. I'm not denying that, but I just feel like there's so much intricacy and detail that you can get when you wear a pair of earrings or a necklace that is special. And my heart just spoke to what I'm doing now. I would love to at some point feature clothing lines. There's particularly a clothing line, Nautic, out of Australia that I love. I would love to feature her pieces, but to date, I've only focused on accessories. And people love a special pair of earrings and a necklace that they can't find anywhere else. And this business marries my passions, which obviously is travel and cultures and languages, as well as discovery. I have this gift for when I go to these countries. I might walk the same streets as you, but I somehow can find these artisans and find these unique pieces that a lot of times can go undiscovered. And a lot of them are preserving traditions and craftsmanship that unless we buy it, there's a likelihood that it goes away or diminishes greatly, or gets mass produced too. That's the other caveat. So today what I wanted to do was just to talk about 5 new pieces in the shop, because a lot of you know I just got back from Mexico. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful trip, wonderful people, wonderful artisans. And I have all these new pieces that we're trying to get into the shop slowly but surely. So I thought, as an effort to showcase new pieces as well as give you some sneak peeks, I would go on the live today, because that just helps me help you see some of the pieces that are here in the shop walls, just not in the shop online. And to start out, I also got some new pieces from Ibrahim in Turkey. And so to start out, I'm going to showcase 2 pieces that aren't in the shop, but are absolutely available should you choose to want them. And okay, sorry about this. I always do this. How the camera isn't, or how it reflects back to me isn't like I'm looking in the mirror. I think it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. Regardless, so first off, these are from Turkey, and these are designed by my friend and artisan Ibrahim. And what he sent me was, now this is a flower detail on the top with a navy blue. It's like a lapis, the color, but it's a crystal. It's a crystal. It's not a gemstone. And then he has a drop semi-precious stone here. These ones, because of how he packaged them, first of all, they're beautiful, but because how he packaged them, one of the earrings, and I forget which one, has a very small chip in it. So I would discount it, of course, because honestly, most people won't be able to see the chip, but it's there. And so I wanted to showcase these because they're spectacular on, as you can see, but there's just that little bit of damage. And if anyone is interested, I'm happy to just send me an PM with asking for the price, and I can invoice you for pieces like this that aren't in the shop yet. And that's easy to do, and I do it all the time. So don't hesitate just to send me a little message, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Because like I said, I'll probably mark this one off probably 30 or 40% because of that little chip. But it's like I said, look at it. It's still beautiful. The second piece, now the second piece is one of the pieces that I got in Mexico. And at the last two Facebook Lives, you've heard me talk a lot about this this filigree work that is very famous in Oaxaca, particularly in the southern part of Oaxaca in the Isthmus region. There's a town called Uchitan, which I did go visit, where the women there, particularly for weddings now, but they drape themselves in this, it used to be gold, and this is now a base metal that they've bathed in gold, and they adorn their ears with them, their bracelets, they'll layer the necklaces. This particular piece, while it's from the filigree pieces, was handmade in Uchitan. The piece itself I picked up in Oaxaca City because one of the women there, she owns an art gallery. Her husband does all this really neat kind of paper mache work. Anyways, it's in downtown Oaxaca. And I went in there just sort of on a whim, and I found beautiful filigree work that they had gotten in Uchitan. And then what she had done with some of the pieces, which I thought was remarkable, is that she had embellished them in different ways that you wouldn't find down in the isthmus. So in this case, she took a very long jade chain, and these are all jade beads that she's done, and she added one of the pendants. Whereas you would see it in gold in Uchitan, she just added this special detail, which I loved. And now I'm gonna just show it, hold on. This dress, by the way, so this dress is from Italy, but I didn't buy it in Italy. I bought it from, and what's cool, as you can see, it's actually, not that you would wear it like this, but you can. But just a shout out to one of my girlfriends. One of my girlfriends has a boutique down in South Center called Divalani Style. And this marvelous dress, which is all silk and made in Italy, is from her shop. And she used to have a shop in Bellevue, but she's now down in Tukwila, so I don't get to see her as much, but I will see her tomorrow, Friday. Anyways, moving on. So these two pieces are not in the shop. So like I said, just feel free to ask questions by PM or in the comments. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw on these earrings from Mexico as well. The necklace was also, the woman that made this necklace, she also took earrings from Uchitan, and in this case added the turquoise beading detail. And these are very dramatic, but I think a lot of you know I tend to like the drama when it comes to accessories, particularly because you can wear dresses like this that are very simple and then use them sort of as your base palette, and then use your accessories to brighten them up or keep it more neutral. But these are lovely. And it's so what I always love is when I put on a pair of earrings that I love, because I can tell like my smile gets bigger. My skin actually looks brighter, I think, too. But these lovely. And these ones are in the shop, and I believe that they're in the shop for $78. We have 2 pairs of these, which is remarkable. Usually I just have 1 pair of most things. So showing off those, I should have let these on. Actually, no, I'm not going to leave these on because I have another pair of earrings. So that's 3 pieces. Before I move on to another pair of earrings, I'm going to showcase these earrings. Now, these rings. The earrings that, oh my gosh, is that not annoying? Okay, so this ring is actually bronze, and they're plated with rhodium. And what the stone is in each of them is, it's called a cat's eye stone. It's a gemstone. And this is what, so Ibrahim, he also made these, and they're all adjustable. You can see the back of the detail too. So they have the 3 bronze thread that on both sides come together with the cat's eye stone. And I was researching the cat's eye stone because I don't know a lot about, I need to learn more about stones, because there's so many great like spiritual and metaphysical qualities that stones have. So I wanted to see what was important about the cat's eye stone. And one of the pieces that I found about it, which I thought was really neat, is that cat's eye stone can bring a positive mindset, and they can remind you of the joy in life, which I thought was really neat, because that's a big part of what I feel my mission in my shop is about, is just, looking at something and feeling joy and remembering that we live in this beautiful world with all this some remarkable talent, and it's fun to be part of it. So this piece, this one, which is more purple, it's kind of like this beautiful purple with a little bit of neutral undertones. This one is in the shop. This one with this beautiful, it's like an aquamarine blue, is not in the shop, but they're the same price points. And so if you don't want to like talk to me, oh my gosh, you can just order this one and say, but Jen, I want the one with the aquamarine. That's fine too. So there's those two. And one other piece that I just added from Ibrahim in the shop is also remarkable. So again, it's the rhodium plated bronze, and this little bangle cuff has semi-precious emeralds and a ruby right in the center. And I've got 2 of these. Again, I'm always so excited. And that's what it looks like on, and clearly stackable. This, quick story, this particular red thread here with the crown, I picked that up in Mexico. I got it after I had the cleansing done. And I went up into the hills of the mountains of Oaxaca to go see a healer. And she, after beating bushes and flowers on me for 20 minutes and saying some words, she then took an egg with its shell on, a raw egg, and rubbed it all over my body and cracked it open and read the inside of my egg yolk, which was interesting. I'll share that story sometime. But part of her prescription leaving the cleansing was that she asked me to not only wear red underwear inside out, but she told me that I needed to get a red bracelet to protect myself from evil spirits. And so when I was in Mexico City, my last day before I came home, I went to this beautiful restaurant, and it was surrounded by all these adorable boutiques. And I went into one and found this cute little bracelet. It's actually from Guatemala, but I liked it, so I picked up that. All right, let's see. I'm going to, before I showcase some necklaces, now this is, again, a sneak peek. So I showed the pieces from Oaxaca, and sticking to Mexico, and I wanted to showcase these. These are from Tasco. This is all filigree again. You can tell I love filigree, and I literally like travel the globe to go find all the best filigree on the planet, which I think I have between Malta, Portugal, Italy, Mexico. But this particular piece was made in Tasco, and it is filigree. I wouldn't say it's traditional to Mexico. Why I wanted to pick up this piece is because it reminded me of the Israeli designer LK Designs, who she closed up her shop, and her pieces, her beautiful filigree pieces, which were so lightweight, her pieces were laser cut, but they were so popular. So I'm trying to get some pieces like that by different artisans. This piece I thought was comparable, just really elegant. You won't even know it's on. I mean, honestly, I don't even know it's on. And what's neat about the artisans, and I've told this story in a live before, but in Tasco, while they're known for silver, and they used to have silver mines there, all the silver mines are closed right now. And they get their silver from other towns in Mexico. Monterrey is one of the famous ones. But still the best silversmiths of Mexico live in Taxco, and that's why you hear of it as being the silver town. And in fact, Tiffany's, the famous luxury jewelry brand company, used to have all their Tiffany, all their silver pieces done there. I'm gonna leave this one in. And that's why I wanted to showcase this bracelet from Taxco that was made by one of the families I met there. What was Angelica and her mom were the ones that helped me, but their second generation, it was Angelica's mom's husband who was a silversmith, and he taught his children. So these pieces were all made by his kids, and they definitely had more contemporary styles. So this particular piece, while it's 7 inches long, so I've got the smallest wrist on the planet, by the way, so I'm not a good representative. And what's great about pieces like this too is you can absolutely remove links to make it fit better on your wrist. So it's 7 inches long, but can be made smaller. But likely it's inspired by one of the Tiffany's pieces that was done there, because I'm sure all the artisans had access to the designs, and then they just the difference would be that they would put that Tiffany stamp on it, and then it costs like $1,000 versus $68. Okay, and then I wanted to show so of the pieces that I showed, the ring by Ibrahim is in the shop. This little cup is in the shop. These wonderful earrings that are so going to be perfect for summer, you might not ever take them off, are in the shop. And that last bracelet from Taxco, the Tiffany inspired bracelet, is in the shop. There we go. There you can see that better. So pretty. And this is not, and nor is this next necklace, which is by Gabby Vilches, who's also from Oaxaca, whose pieces, I've showcased a lot of her earrings. This is one of her heart necklaces that I thought actually would look really lovely. And what I liked about this one was I guess I have to sit up a little bit, was the tassel detail. And this particular, I didn't think she made anything two of the kind, but I snatched up 2 that look just like this. And it's got the navy, royal blue, that's better description, royal blue with the teal background, and then the 3 different tiered tassels. And then you can see she's got the beading detail, the crystal bead detail there, the royal blue crystal detail here. And these are adjustable, but they're a little bit longer. So let's see. I think I could make it probably that much shorter. My guess is this is probably about, what, 18 inches long. Really pretty, really pretty. I have a propensity to wear blue a lot just because my eyes are blue. So you'll probably see me showcase a lot of blue because I gravitate towards it. And then last piece I'm going to show you, and then I wanted to also just show off these adorable gifts that I'm giving with people who this started yesterday, so I've got a couple left. But so anyone who orders anything in the shop, I'm giving you a free gift, and it's from Chiapas, Mexico. So I'll end with the story around those cute little things. But so this is not a new piece in the shop, but what I wanted to do was showcase these pieces, this necklace. I brought one other piece out because they're by Eric and Liddy, and it's a couple who live near Paris, and their designs are them as artisans. I like to consider them, they're like one of my anchor artisans in the shop. Their pieces are so amazing, and they're just amazing humans. They are inspired by nature, vintage pieces. They use, in this case, they'll use steel. All the petals are gold plated. They use the Swarovski crystals and seed pearls. So much detail. And the reason why I wanted to showcase their pieces is because I have a whole bunch of new pieces by them coming in March. So just wanted to reintroduce them. But they're sweet, and they're the most precious gifts to give to just delicate. I love them. And then this is also, so I just pulled out 2 of the necklaces because I love the bouquet look. And in this case, they use the antique brass with the drop pearl is the difference. And these pieces too are kind of, they have smaller ones, so they're fun to stack. So look for more by Eric and Liddy in March. I actually got it. Okay, so should you decide that you need something, you will also get a little gift. And this is a gift that I picked up in Mexico. And while I was not in Chiapas this visit, I was in Chiapas last time that I was in Mexico. And when I was down there, I fell in love with those little wool felt animals that maybe some of you have seen. And when I was in Mexico City, I was at this beautiful artisan market, and I knew I was in a Chiapas vendor's tent because there was all these beautiful little felt hearts and animals and other things. And it's a wool felt. So you will get one. Like I said, I don't have very many left. But you'll get one. If there's a color you like, or if you're like, oh, Jen, I like blue, I like brown, I'll see what I have, and I can send it. But just quick backstory on these. These are made by the indigenous women who live in Chiapas. And they use, so the wool is from their communities, and they card it and blanch it, and then they dye it. And typically it's used for clothes. And back in the 80s, when the coffee prices plummeted, a lot of the laborers lost jobs, and they had to be more creative about how they brought money to their family. And Chiapas is becoming more of a tourist destination. So the women started making animals, which I think I bought like a cat for my mom once, but I don't have one to show you, but they're really cute and really colorful. But what they started doing was using the textiles from or cutouts from their clothes and making these really bright colored animals for the tourists to sell them. And so anytime you go to Mexico and you see these wool felt animals, stuffed animals, just know they're from Chiapas, and they're made by the indigenous group. Actually, I wanted to make sure I could say the name right. They're called Tzotzil, and it's one of 10 indigenous groups that live down in Oaxaca. Anyways, lovely. You can hang these on your car mirror. You can add them to your keychain. You can just hang them on your computer and remember that you're loved, at least by me. And for those of you who are local, this weekend I'm going to be at a winery, one of my favorite wineries called Skylight Cellars in Woodinville. And I'm going to bring with me a couple of, because these, I don't know if these will ever make it in the shop because they're just like, you almost need to see these guys in person. But they're little wool felt heart earrings. And these I fell in love with in Puebla. So, but I don't know, it's kind of cool, right? And again, you can't feel it. So I'm going to bring this to the trunk show this weekend. If you're interested in the trunk show, I have an invite on the Facebook page. So you can find it there. I think that is it. Thank you. Let me know if there's anything you saw that isn't in the shop yet. I'm happy to take care of you offline. Anyways, have a good Thursday.